Hello everybody, welcome to Totally Tabled. My name is Shaggy, and today I'm doing a full solo playthrough of Carnegie. This game is inspired by the life of Andrew Carnegie, who was born in Scotland and then immigrated to the United States and became one of the richest men in the world. Now, while this game is loosely based on Carnegie's life, it even says here in the rulebook that the game reflects more of a positive spin on Carnegie's life and chooses not to focus on the more complicated and controversial aspects of his work. Ultimately, this is a fairly abstracted Euro game, and we're going to play it as such. So we're mostly just going to dive into the mechanism. I'm going to teach you how it plays. In Carnegie, we're going to be developing our business. We're going to be adding departments here that our workers can go into, paying to activate them, and then taking one of 4 actions, which will let us move our workers around, create projects that we can then put out across the United States, building up our transportation infrastructure in the 4 different areas of the United States, earning points and money as we go so that we can build up our business even more, and make charitable donations. And in the solo game, we'll be playing against Carnegie himself. In order to set up the game, you're gonna do things pretty much like you're setting up for a 2-player game. You want to take the 32 department tiles. There's 16 different tiles, 2 of each. And you basically want to remove half of them, 16 tiles. So you're left with a random assortment of 16 tiles, which I've done there. So as you can see, some of the tiles we have none of, some 1, and some we have 2. You're going to set up your action board with 4 random rows, which we've done there. You're going to get your player board, and for each of these projects, you're going to decide whether you want it to be on the A or the B side. I've gone ahead and just put them all on the A side for now. You slide those all the way in, put a token on these 3, and then you want to get 10 of your workers. You're going to put 5 in the lobby laying down, which means they're inactive. And then you're going to put 1 in each of your 5 starting departments, standing up, which means they are active. And if you note in this department here, there's sort of a pre-printed worker there that will always be there. As it shows right here, we start with 12 money and 4 goods cubes. You also want to put a token at the starting spot of each of the 4 transportation tracks. And then you want to get the solo deck. You want to shuffle that up. Then lay out these 5 cards in ascending victory point order. You want to put the train token on the left spot of the 0 card. And get some player pieces for Carnegie. And you just put them at the beginning of each of the transportation tracks as well. You then want to get another unused set of tokens. You want to get 18. And then you're going to flip over the solo deck, 1 card at a time. At the top, it'll show a donation spot that you want to cover up. And then in the 4th row, it'll show 2 to 4 different locations on the map that you want to cover. And you're just going to keep flipping cards 1 at a time, covering up these spaces until you've used all 18 tokens, which is what I've done here. So in the end, we covered up 6 donation spots and 12 different locations out here on the map. You then just want to reshuffle the solo deck, and you're ready to begin. At the beginning of the game, we have a couple of decisions to make that's kind of like part of setup. We want to take this bottom token there on our housing project spot, and we're going to put it out here on the board in one of these major cities. And we can put it anywhere where there's the housing symbol. We can't go to these smaller cities. They have to be one of these bigger cities. So we could go here in Chicago, or New York, or Washington, Atlanta. We could even come over here to Los Angeles or San Francisco. I want to go to Chicago here. One of the things we're trying to do in the game is to connect these major cities: Chicago, New York, New Orleans, and San Francisco. And because we have so much blocked space here, I kind of want to get in and hopefully be able to move around before all of this stuff gets covered up. We then get to pick a department tile to start with. And I have my eye on this one. We're just going to put that off to the side. We haven't built it yet. This tile will let us convert our goods cubes into money. And I think that'll be very helpful going forward. The last thing we get to do as part of setup is we get 6 movement points to move our 5 workers here in the lobby into the different departments. For each movement point, we can move to an orthogonally adjacent department. You can't move diagonally. I think I want to spend my movement going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And that guy will stay right there. So that was my 6 movement. And now we have the choice to activate those workers if we want to. And the cost to activate is below each of the workstations. So to activate this guy would cost $3. So we'll do that. To activate this one costs 2. This one here is free. And this one here is 5. So all in all, that costs $10 in order to activate all those workers. Now, I didn't have to activate them all, but I chose to. And this guy, anytime someone's in the lobby, they are unactivated. So we'll get to use them later if we can move them into a department. And so there we go. We are all set up and ready to play Carnegie. This train piece tracks turn order. And at the beginning of the game, it starts on the left-hand side, which means we'll be the first player. The first thing you do is take the top card of Carnegie's deck and place it here on the 0 spot. And this provides us with a little bit of information. The backs of the cards show Carnegie's favored action of the 4 available actions. So this round, Carnegie is favoring the management action, while next round he'll be favoring the construction action. And that might be a good reason why we don't want to pick the management action for this round, because we know that on the back of this card, that action is going to be the most powerful. And we know that since Carnegie will be first player next round, he's going to choose the construction action, and we're going to be able to take that. So we want to factor that in to our decision about which action to take this first round. With all that in mind, I want to do a human resources action. So we go over to the action board, and we place the cog to the right-hand side of the action that we want to take. That will be the type of department that we're going to get to activate on this turn. But first, we look at where the cog is, and we resolve the event. Now, there are 2 different types of events. There's either a make a donation event, which looks like this, those 4 spots, or it's a get income event, which shows one of the 4 regions of the United States. In this case, we have a take income event in the East. Now, at the moment, none of our meeples are out on the board, and we would need to have meeples in the East in order to be able to take advantage of that. So I'll explain how that works once it becomes relevant. But for now, we can't take advantage of it, so we're going to skip it. After you resolve the event, you then flip over Carnegie's card and you resolve the action that you've chosen. Carnegie always goes first. We always resolve his card first before we take our actions, even though we're first player. So you can see right here in the human resources row, it says ×2, and then it has the card moving to the right icon. That simply means that we're going to move this card 2 spaces to the right. Carnegie has essentially scored 3 points at the end of the game. That's all that's happened there. We can then flip this over and we just set it here. Or if you'd like, you can even just tuck it under the card. But I just like to just set it right on top here. Now that we've resolved Carnegie's action, we can take our actions. And basically any department that has a human resources icon at the top, we can then activate. And we can activate them in any order that we want to. At the beginning of the game, we only have this one department here that has that sign. What this department lets you do is get 3 movement points per active worker. And right now we have 2 active workers. We have the one that's sort of pre-printed on the board that will always be there. And we have this meeple that we put in there. Each of those is giving us 3 movement points. We have 6 movement points to spend. And we spend them just like we did at the beginning of the game. Now what I want to do is I want to move this one 1, 2 to there. And I actually want to move this person 3, 4 to here. And when they move into an empty spot, they lie down. In fact, when they move at all, they're always going to move into a new place lying down, inactive. Now, I have 2 more movement points if I wanted to use them, but I think for the moment, I'm okay. I'm not going to move anybody else. Now, if I had another department with the human resources icon, then I could activate that department, but I don't, so I'm done. Now, at the end of the round, you can activate any of your unactivated workers. Say I had left this person here. If I wanted to, I could pay the $5 and activate them and put them into that one available workstation. These workers that are in the empty spaces, I can't activate yet. I have to build a department there first. So we're good for right now, and that is the end of the round. At the end of the round, you just shift the action marker into the place where you had the cog. You move the train over to the next spot, and you place the top card of Carnegie's deck into the 0 spot. And now we're ready for round 2. The train is on the right side of the card, so that means that Carnegie gets to pick the action for this round. We just look at their card, and they want to do the construction action. We have another income event, this time in the west. Now, Carnegie never deals with the income events. He will only make donations during the donation events. And because we don't have anybody in the west right now to take income, we can skip it. Now we just flip Carnegie's card over. And here, in the construction row, it has the name of 4 different locations on the board. So Carnegie is going to put tokens in those cities, taking the leftmost spot in each one. So we have Albany, New York, Washington, and Pittsburgh. And then we just flip the card over. And it's that simple. Their turn is that simple. Now we get to activate any of our departments that have the construction icon, and again, we only have 1 of those. This department lets us put a person onto the board and then spend either 1 good or 2 goods in order to put a project into a city, essentially putting these little tokens out into the cities. And right now we have 2 available projects. We have an economic project right there, and we have an industrial project right there. You can see here the housing and the commerce, I believe it's called, projects only require 1 goods cube, whereas the industrial and the public infrastructure require 2. So I think what I want to do is I want to take this worker and we're going to put them into a region. And it has to be the region that we want to build in. And I want to build here in the east. So we just place our meeple there. We're going to pick which of the projects we want to use. I think I'll do the commerce project first. That's going to require us spending 1 good cube. And now we can put it in any of these cities here in the east that has that symbol. So look, we got 1 right there. We got 2 in New York. We could go there to Albany. I want to go right here into Pittsburgh. It behooves us to create a network, a connected network across the country. And what we really want to do is create a network that connects these larger cities, the ones that have these little link icon right there. So New York, Chicago, New Orleans, and San Francisco. And with that in mind, I think we'll do our second build. And we could go ahead and put it in the east and connect right here to New York. But we could put it anywhere, really. We could come down here and just jump right into New Orleans and connect them up later. We can't go to the Midwest because, as you can see here, there's no spaces for an industrial project. Now, we could go into one of these little spaces because those can take any project. But I don't think I want to do that right now. I'm just going to go right into New York. It's going to cost us 2 goods. And we go on to the industrial spot. At the end of the game, these cities are going to be worth, well, New York's going to be worth 3 points, Pittsburgh 2, Chicago 3. So that's one reason we want to get these projects onto the board. We're also going to score points at the end of the game for these links that we've created and for our transportation networks. So right now, we've created a link between New York and Chicago. That's going to be 2 links. And if you look at the upper right-hand side of the board, you can see there a 2 link connection at the end of the game will either be worth 3, 6, or 9 points based on how far we move our transportation up these tracks. I'll explain all of that later once we start moving our transportation networks up. And there we go, we're all done. You can see we've uncovered a couple of things there. That's going to allow us to get some income later in the game, which you'll see shortly. But for now, let's just clean up. The train will go back here, so we're going to be first player. And this top card will just go on top of there. Okay, round 3, we get to choose the action, and something unfortunate has happened. I wanted to do a management action, but that is exactly what Carnegie wants us to do. That's his favorite action for this round. So if I wanted, I could try to do something different. We can also see that next round, Carnegie is going to choose to do a research and development action. And actually, I think that's the action I want to do as well. We don't have meeples in the Midwest, so we can't resolve that event. It looks like Carnegie is going to move his transportation token in the south 2 spaces. And now we get to go. Once again, we only have one department that is of the research and development type, and it's going to give us, for each of our activated meeples, we're going to get 3 research points, I believe they're called. So 6 research points in total. And we can spend those points to move up the transportation track, just like Carnegie did. You can see the cost to move is right there in the upper part. And we can use any of the tracks. We can split these 6 points up however we want. But we also use those in order to develop new projects. And I definitely want to spend at least 1 point increasing my housing projects. You can see there it cost 1 point in order to move that out. And when you do that, you add a token. So that's now a project that I can build in the future out here onto the board. I have 5 more left. I definitely want to spend 3 to increase my transportation track in the east. That costs 3, so I have 2 more left. I think I'm going to spend 1 in the Midwest. And then the last one, I'm going to do another housing project. And there we go. That was all 6 of my research points. And I'm done. Move the train. Okay, Carnegie gets to go, and he's taking the same action. We have an event in the east, and we are going to be able to take advantage of it this time because we have meeples there in the east. Now, I could ignore the event completely, or I can spend one of my meeples or both of them in order to get the reward that is shown below the spot I'm on that transportation track. So in this case, $4. Each of those meeples could be spent to get $4. And I'm going to go ahead and spend both of them. They come back into our department in the lobby, laying down, and we're going to get $8. We also get any income that is showing on the revealed spaces of our projects. And you can see there, we have $2 showing and a cube. Now we only get those once. Even though we removed 2 of our workers, we still only get these rewards once, but you get the transportation rewards for each meeple that you removed. And there we go. That's how you resolve those events. Ooh, Carnegie's going to be moving 3 on the eastern track. Now that's interesting because that final spot there, only 1 player can occupy that. We then just flip that back over. It stays in the 0 spot. Now we can do a bit more research. I want to spend 3 in the Midwest. I want to spend 2 over here. Then I only have 1 left. So we'll come down like that. Okay, that worked out great because now you can see Carnegie's favored department is human resources right now. So now would be a great time to take a management action. And we have the other type of event. This is the donation style of event where we get to, if we want, spend money on some of these charitable donations up there, which will score us in-game victory points. Now, Carnegie actually participates in this kind of event. So we flip his card over first, and you look at the top, and it shows which kind of donation he wants to participate in. So he wants to do the one in the Midwest. And now we can perform a donation, and as you can see right here, it shows for your first donation, it's $5. Then your second donation will be $10, your next one 15, then 20. So it goes up by 5 for each donation. Because this is our first, we only need to spend 5. And that seems like a good deal. So let's do that. And we can go to any of these that we want that is available. You can't double up on any of them. And I'm kind of looking towards that eastern one. We already have 2 projects in the east, and so that might be a good one. We're definitely thinking about doing a third. That would be 6 points. Now, the maximum amount of points you can earn at the end of the game for any of these would be 12. Yeah, right now I think that seems as good as any of them, so we're going to go to that one. There you go. That was the donation. Now Carnegie gets to take the action. And in the management space right here, it says 1, and it shows a type of tile out there that he wants to take, a department tile. And he wants to take a human resources tile, and he's always going to choose the lowest numbered tile, which will be the one furthest to the left. So he just takes that, he puts it off to the side. At the end of the game, these are going to be worth 2 points each for him. Okay, and now we have a lot of things that we can do. We have 2 departments, and we have 2 active people in each one. I want to do this department first. For each of our active meeples, we have a choice of what we want them to do. They can either stay there and stay active and just take 3 money or a cube, or you can put them onto the board in order to get 6 money or 2 cubes. I think this first meeple, I want them to stay here and just give us $3. The second meeple, I actually want to put onto the board. I can put them anywhere I want. I'm going to put them in the Midwest. And I'm going to take 2 cubes. Okay, now we're going to activate that department. That department is going to let us build new departments into our business. But the first one that we have to build is always the one that we reserved at the beginning of the game. And you can see here, it's either going to cost 1 cube to place it in a spot where there's already a worker, which is why we put the worker there in that empty spot, or to put it in a spot where there isn't a worker, it'll cost 2 cubes. And we can do it twice because we have 2 meeples there. So I'm going to spend 1 cube to place this right here. And that guy goes onto the tile, but he's going to remain inactive for the moment. And then for our second one, we get to pick any of them that are out there. And I have my eye on one very specific tile, which we're going to put right there. And that tile is going to allow us to purchase cubes for $1. And we can do it 3 times per meeple that's there. And so we have a really cool synergy here where we can use this tile to get $6 for each cube that we turn in, and we can do that 3 times per worker. And then we can turn around and spend $1 to buy the cube right back. That's a $5 profit per cube. So that's a cool little synergy there that I want to try and exploit in this game. Okay, now that we've done both of our actions, at the end of the round, you can always pay money to activate your workers. And we have 2 inactive workers right here, and I want to activate both of them. Each of those workstations costs $1, so I'll spend $2. And there we go. And oops, I don't want to forget to spin my cube for that second department. We're going to do this for 20 rounds, and then we'll do final scoring. Now, because you've seen how all the actions work, I'm going to try to go through this a little bit faster. Looks like we have a human resources, and we have someone in the Midwest, so we are definitely going to use them. Our income is actually 3 research points. I think I'll actually just use it to move this to there. There we go. Ooh, wow. So this one's going to move 4 spaces. 1, 2, 3, 4, all the way to the 10-point spot. And we're only going to get 3 movement here because we moved everyone out of there. Okay, I'm going to do it like that. 1, 2, and 3. And then this one's free to activate. And that one is $2. Honestly, I think I want to do another management action. Ooh, do I? Ah, this is tough right now. I don't want to do construction right now because that's what Carnegie wants me to do. So I think I will do a management. Unfortunately, I don't have anyone out there right now, so I can't take advantage of the income. Okay, it's going to take another tile of the human resources variety. No big deal. I want to use this guy. I'm going to put him on the board, and I'm going to get 2 more cubes, I think. Ooh, where do we want to put him? I think in the east. And now we're going to build 2 more departments, and because we don't have anyone in those empty spaces, we're going to have to use all of our cubes. So which 2 departments do we want? We're going to take this one. This will actually let us recruit more workers or just get a little bit more movement. And I think, where do I want to put this? Maybe just right here. Then I think I'll do this. This is one of a special tile where you get a special ability as long as there's a worker here. So you never spend the worker. You just get this as a special ability, which is it's going to reduce the cost of moving on these tracks by 1. I'll put that right there. Okay, there we go. Okay, don't have anyone in the west. Can't take advantage of that. Going to move 3 to right there. And now we're going to get 6 movement. Okay, I want to go 1, 2, 3, 4. Remember, when they move, they have to lay down. I have 2 more. I'm going to go 5. And that's it. And now I want to activate all of them, and it's not going to cost too much. Just 1, 2, 3. Okay, he wants us to do construction, and I was sort of what I was thinking of doing. I think I might do it anyway. Or on second thought, I'm going to do a management. That's going to activate the east. I have someone there, so I'd like to use them. $4 of income. Plus 2 and a cube. Okay, management. He's going to take 1 construction department, which takes the one furthest to the left. And we can build another department, except we can't because we would need another cube. So we can't activate that one, but what we can do is we can sell the 1 cube that we have for $6. Okay, so now we're rolling in the money. Donation event. Oh, he's gonna go onto the housing one. We have 10 bucks that we could spend. I think we're going to have a lot of money and cubes left over. So I will spend 10 bucks. Because it was our second donation, it was $5 more, so $10 total. And now Carnegie is going to move this 3 spaces. So 1, 2, and because he couldn't do the third one, anytime he can't perform part of the action that he wants to do, the card moves to the right instead. So because he couldn't fulfill one of those, because he already reached the end, he just moves this one and scores a point. So as the game goes on and more of these things fill up, he's not going to be able to do stuff, and instead he's just going to be scoring points. Okay, now us. We have 6 research points again. Well, we could hop in there and immediately get 10 bucks. That wouldn't be the worst thing in the world. But then that would only leave us with 1 left. I think I want to spend 2, 4, 5, 6. Okay. Okay, I think I want to do a construction action. Another donation. We don't have the money for that, but Carnegie doesn't care. He's going right there. And then he's going to be building in San Francisco and Los Angeles. And again, he just takes the leftmost spot. Okay, now we have 2 departments. I definitely want to use this department first. So for each meeple, we can do this up to 3 times. And that's just spend a buck to get a cube. And so I'm going to spend all 5 of my money and get 5 cubes. We then can use this person to put out one of these where? It's going to cost a cube to do it. We're either going to have to do the housing or the commerce. Kind of want to work our way down here to New Orleans, I think. I think we're going to put them in the south. We're going to do a commerce. New Orleans. Okay, there we go. Carnegie's going R&D. Now, we have someone in the south, but I'm not going to use them. I'm going to pass on this event. Okay, 3 in the Midwest. And we have 6. I really think, this is a hard one. I could go up 5 there, get an instant 10 bucks, and then 2 points anytime there's an event in the Midwest. We do have a couple coming up there looking at the board. Or I could move 6 just right here and be in line for a lot more money. Yeah, I think we're going to do that. I think we're just going to move up twice here, and that'll be our 6. There we go. Simple enough. We're going to be first. Ooh, interesting. Looks like Carnegie's going to be doing a management action next round. That was what I was thinking of doing this round. 2 management actions in a row, not the best for me. We could go human resources, get this guy on the board. Yeah, okay, I think we're going to do that. Donation time. I don't have any money, so I'm not going to be doing donations. Okay, so that donation spot is already covered up. He'll just do what he always does. He'll just move his card 1 to the right. And then he'll resolve it. And it looks like it's going to move 1 more space to the right. So he scored 3 points for all that. So we have 3 movement. I think I want to go 1, 2, and then move this guy up here for 3. No. I want this guy to go 1, 2, and then 3. We're going to put both of them in that spot. Yeah. We won't have the money yet to activate them, but hopefully we will soon. And now with this tile, we can put them out on the board in order to recruit another worker. And so that's what we're going to do. So we'll recruit this worker, goes into the lobby, and this one gets put out somewhere. Probably, let's put it in the Midwest. I don't have the money to activate them, so we'll just move on. Management action, and I will now activate this person from the south, gain 7 money. So as well as 4 and a cube. Okay, not a bad haul there. Wow, so it looks like taking 1 of each of these. So that would be 1 from human resources, 1 from construction, and 1 from R&D. Okay, really clean that place out. Now we have 2 here. I want to activate this one first, and I'm going to sell 4 cubes. I'm going to leave... Actually, okay, I'll sell 3 cubes, because I'm going to need 2 in order to build another department. That's 6 each. So that's going to be 18. So now we're swimming in cash. And then I'll go ahead and spend these 2 cubes to construct one of these. Let's see what's left. Yeah, I think I want this guy right here. Can put someone out on the board to get 7 research. Let's go ahead and put that up here. At the end of the game, anything in this row will be worth 3 points. Whereas in these rows, it's 2. So it'll be a little more valuable up there. Our turn. I think we want to construct... Oh, wait, sorry, I forgot. At the end of the turn, I wanted to put those guys into their station and activate them. So that's going to cost $4. There we go. And now I kind of want to do a construction action. Don't have anyone in the south. Okay. Carnegie's going to Boston and Washington. Ooh, and that sort of cuts me off a little bit because I was thinking of coming right through here. And I do not have, whatever the bridge is called there, I don't have one of those projects. Now, what are we going to do for our... First, we want to activate this production building. Yeah, we're going to go ahead and pay 6 money to get 6 cubes. And now we're going to come over here, and we're going to put out some projects. And like I said, we want to connect to New Orleans. It seems like we just want to go right through there. And that should be no problem whatsoever. So in Atlanta, we'll do a housing project. That'll cost 1 cube. Put this guy here. And then this one's going to go into the Midwest. You can use any project in one of these spaces. Let's use finance. And when you build into one of these small areas, that symbol right there means you get your transportation reward. In this case, it's 2 more goods. I had to pay 1 to do that. And now we've created a network of 3 links. 1, 2, 3. And each of our links, our transportation in each of those regions is up to the train. And so the way you calculate your score at the end of the game is whatever is your lowest level of transportation, you use that times your number of links. You look at that little grid there. So 3 links, and they're all on train. That's going to be 18 points at the end of the game. Carnegie's turn. He's going to do some construction as well. And the Midwest, we have 2 people there. Do we want to use both of them? No, we got another Midwest coming up, so let's just use 1. That's 2 cubes, as well as 6, 7 money, and another cube. So now we're rolling in the money here. We have 26. We have so many cubes right now. It's unbelievable. Oh man, he's coming out on more cities. Cincinnati. Okay, well, we just went to Cincinnati. Wow, that was good timing, or he would have cut us off from there. Since he can't put it in there, card moves over. Duluth, St. Louis, and Kansas City. Okay. And now we can't do very much. We do have this right here. We could buy 6 more cubes. Now, there's a lot of cubes. We do have that donation up there that's going to give us 2 points per each cube that we have left over, up to 12 maximum points. If we had 6 of these at the end, we could get 12 points. So I say, yeah, let's go ahead and just buy 6 more cubes. I'll use one of these bigger cubes to represent 5 and 6. So there we go. Now, I really wouldn't mind moving these people. Unfortunately, we're only going to get 3 movement. We really only have 4 more actions left in this game. Okay, I think I want to get a ton of money for the end here, because on each of those final 4 spaces, you can actually activate both events. You can do an income event and you can do a donation event. So having a ton of money so I can get, my 3rd, my 4th, and maybe even my 5th donation out there, we'll see. But at least get my 3rd and 4th donation up there. I think that's going to be best for me. So let's go ahead and do a management action. So that space is going to let us do a Midwest income, which we do have. So let's go ahead and do that. Going to get 2 cubes, $7, and another cube. And we can then make a donation. Now, Carnegie is, of course, going to do that first. So we'll just flip his card. Okay, he wants to do right here. So what donation do we want to make? Well, I think we're going to have a ton of money and cubes at the end of the game. So let's grab that spot where we can spend 5 money and a cube to get 4 points. And we could do that 3 times. That seems like a good one. Carnegie is now going to do... Oh, okay. Wants to take 2 of the management departments. And I think we want to exchange 6 cubes for $24. And then we could spend 2 cubes to put down another building. Another department. Oh, wait, we had to spend... I forgot to spend for my donation. No wonder I have so much money. I need to spend 15. Don't have anything in the West, but we can still do another donation. Oh, the train for 3. Oh, it is open. And now we're going on our 4th donation, so it's going to be $20. Yeah, let's do it. I'll just go ahead and take that. That's 6 points. Got 2 of those departments, so I'll just take the easy 6 points. Okay, Carnegie's going 3 on the east track. 1. And then can't do those, so 2, 3. Looks like we only have 3. I'll just do that. Now, when we get to the end like this, we can still take the actions that are at the end of the track. So, if I really wanted to do another management action, I could. What you would do is you would just do that, and then you would flip one of the tokens that has room to move. You'd flip it over. So, for instance, I might do something like this. That's showing that the event that you're going to be looking at is the one to the right of that token. So in this case, if I did something like that, you would be looking at an income event in the south and a donation. You would then, at the end, you would move that token to the right. So no matter what you select, one of those tokens is going to move to the right, and that's tracking our 20 turns. Now, instead of doing that, I would like to do a construction action. Unfortunately, I don't have anyone there, and it looks like Carnegie is going to be doing human resources, so it doesn't look like construction is really going to help us. Ooh, yeah, we kind of flubbed it at the end here. Tell you what, I think we're just going to do a human resources. We don't have anyone in the east, and we don't have the money to do another donation. Okay, he wants to donate there, but it's already taken, so he's going to just move that over. And now it looks like it's just going to move over one more time. Okay, not too bad. We're only getting 3 movement. I want 1, 2, 3. Yep, and then I'll pay $1 to get this person stood up in there. All right. And last action of the game. Going there. We flip that one over. That's the only one. Normally he would just do the one below it, and you just keep going down until you find one that you can use. But that's the only one that's available. Looks like we have an event in the south. I have someone here, so we'll use them. $7. And a donation. Again, can't afford it. Ooh, nope. So we took that one, so can't do that. And then this is moving 4 over, so it just goes all the way to the end. And we have 6 movement here. Oh, sorry, this guy should have been stood up. It was free to stand him up. So we have 6 here and 4 more there. It really doesn't matter where they go, so we're just going to put them in the most, like, the cheapest spots possible. So we can just go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then we're just going to stand everybody up. That cost $1. And that's the end of the game. Okay, let's score for Carnegie. So he gets victory points based on these cards. Okay, so 40 points worth of cards. Then each of these departments is worth 2 points. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16. I forgot about this. Carnegie scores 6 points for each track that he's reached the end of, which is one of the reasons why you might want to rush in there and take up that spot before he can get in there. We did not do that, so that's going to be 12 additional points. That's going to be 68. Then their discs out here on the map are worth the points shown underneath. So this is going to be quite a bit. So that's 3, 6... 23, 26. Gonna be 94. Yikes. Okay, and then this is the other little twist that I haven't mentioned. Carnegie scores the donations based on what we have done, which is going to be a bit of a shame for us, to be honest, because he's basically done a bunch of the stuff that we have done. This is going to be pretty bad. So that's just going to be a point for every department, and it counts the pre-printed ones. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 is the maximum you can score, so that's going to be 12 points. Then 3 for each train. We've done 3 trains, so that's also going to be 12 points. This is going to be really bad. 2 for each of these. We've done 4, so that's 8. Oh my goodness. 1 point for each of the people standing, which is basically going to cancel out the points we're going to get. But 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. And then we have 2 cities here in the Midwest, so that's 4 more. So that's going to be 45 more points. 139. Yeah, we're not going to score that much. Well, let's see. Our scoring is down here on the board, so we can quickly go over that. It's not going to be 139, but let's see how badly we lost. This is not relevant in a 2-player or a solo game, so we can skip that. This is 1 point for every person standing, so we counted that out. We have 11. We then get 2 points for each of these and 3 for each of those that are on the top row. 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's 8. 2 of those is 6, so 14 more points. Oh, so this is points that we could get if we had moved these out further, but we didn't get to the victory point. If you keep pulling them out, there's victory points at the end of some of those, but we didn't get any of those. We did get some links here, so we have 3, and they're on the train, so we're going to get 18 points for that. We then get points for our cities here. 5, 8, 9, 10, 13, it looks like. 6. And then we get points for our donations. 2 points for each one in the east. And we have 2 of those, so that's going to be 4 points. We have all of our spending that we can do. So that's going to be 12 points, that's going to be 12 points, so that's going to be 24. 84. Then we have 2 of these human resource departments, so that's going to be 6 points. And there you go. We got absolutely crushed. Everything sort of fell apart at the end, but even so, we were not paying enough attention to the donations that Carnegie was making, and he was just getting way too many points off of that. But anyway, thank you so much for watching, and goodbye.